Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm post-Valentine Day, John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
Yes, you are.
We survived Valentine's.
Well, it's something that's to be survived and celebrated. I celebrated by going to the Bell Buckle Cafe and Banquet Hall and listening to the South Jackson Street Band and the wonderful stylings of their main host and singer, Miss Peggy Burton.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm so glad you came. It was a great event.
There was a lot of folks there, and it was a lot of fun.
They had to turn people away this time.
Yeah.
That was nice for
So,
us.
and of course, they didn't have it last year because of COVID, and you know, it's just about. I noticed last night at the city board meeting. It's the first time in 2 years almost that they hadn't had masks on.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
so
a statement.
Are we coming out of this? Maybe.
I just think that, yes, I think so. There's a lot of people that are still in masks all the time, and that's their choice.
Yeah, and a lot of people will be forever.
That's fine. You know, the worst thing for me is I have a hard enough time remembering who anybody is.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to notice.
I see people that I know and love, and they're in a mask, and I don't know if I should hug them or they're going to kill me. I'm not sure.
Well, but the thing about it is, those of us, and I don't want to sound like an old man, but I am, that have a little age on us, have always looked at people in the face.
Right.
To communicate with them, not at a phone screen, to communicate with them. So we probably look in people's eyes more than the younger generation does. Probably. And eyes are the windows to the world. And so a lot of people you can notice just by seeing the upper part of their face.
Yeah, some people I know.
But then there's a bunch of other people that unless you see the bottom half, you can't tell who they are. I can't tell who they are.
I ran into Louis Baldwin at the grocery store, and I've known Louis since almost the day he was born. But anyway, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Until he said, "Peggy, it's Louis." And he had a mask on.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, I wanted to say one other thing about Bell Buckle. They put on the nicest meal.
Oh, yeah,
and the
food.
most beautiful decorations.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And it was a treat to have Miss Samantha Waters with us.
Samantha was there singing, and she and her mom, Sherry Terrell, and her dad, and I never can remember
and her
his
handsome
first
husband,
name.
Joe.
Huh?
Her handsome husband, Joe, was
Joe.
there. Yeah,
Joe. Samantha's husband, Joe.
Yes.
And they were all there, and Samantha just looked period of the 20s. She had on a beautiful set of long red gloves all the way up to the middle of her arm, and she was just dressed like you would expect to see someone in New York City at a club in the 20s singing with Big Spiderbeck or whatever big band was on stage. She was just outstanding, and how talented, and you know, the whole band's talented. And I was sitting there one time. I love horns. I'm a country guy, and I love country music and country lyrics, but I like that big band sound. And you know, country and the western swing music, back when country music was young, they had full bands. They had horn sections.
They had more in their group.
And the other night I was listening to one of the songs, and I can't remember what it was, because a lot of those things, Frank could probably tell you the name, but it was nothing but the horns, and the band itself was playing. And a lot of trombone, and the way that music sounds, and it is so full and so rich. It's just a joy just to listen to it.
Alan Johnson is the director of the band, and he has done a great job of, you know, pulling it all together and making the horns and all the strings, everything that's up there.
I'll tell you who I was impressed with. And I told him so when the dance was over. Is the drummer, the stick man the time machine is
That's
absolutely
Billy Woods.
phenomenal. What he does.
Billy is from McMinnville, I think, and
And he looks like he enjoys it so much.
right. And we were missing Charlie Hickerson, but we had Jordan, and I never can remember his last name.
Right.
He's very new and not from Tullahoma. He drives a long way to come, but he did a great job. But the interesting
With
thing
the bass?
the bass player, yes. He, 3 weeks ago, cut the end off of one of his fingers.
Oh, heavens.
So he was
Compromised.
really compromised, yes, but he did a
I mean,
great job.
when you
yeah.
lose the tip of one of your fingers and you're a
Yeah.
guitar player,
I think it's finally getting
that's tough.
back again.
Yeah. But we had a great time, and we hope all of you had a good Valentine's Day yesterday, and over the whole weekend. It was enjoyable.
A nice weekend, even though it was very cold. It was still
And
a nice
but there were a
weekend.
lot of things going on. I have something I want to read here to you. The Sports Council banquet, which was held also on Saturday night, was postponed because Mayor Noah's had a medical emergency.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I read something about that, but I didn't
And
get.
this is the official statement. Winston Brooks sent it over. Mayor Noah's had a medical emergency February 12th during the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame banquet. He received first aid at the event, left alert, and transported to Vanderbilt, Tullahoma Horton, where he was stabilized. He is still under the care of doctors. He and Ann want to thank those who cared for him at the event and those who are praying for his recovery. So
Bless him.
They have, at the beginning of this, evidently they were talking about young people playing ball.
Yeah.
And little boys throwing balls with their dad and all that. And so part of the thing was somebody threw Ray a baseball, which he was to catch, which he did.
Did it hit him?
And he caught it, and when he caught it, he fell on the table, and everybody thought it was like a pratfall,
Yeah.
like it was part of a bit,
Oh, wow.
but it wasn't.
But he literally.
He literally fell out.
So we don't
and
know what
lost consciousness,
what
and
the
we don't know what it.
diagnosis
We
is.
don't know what it. Someone probably knows what the situation is, but that's not what we were sent to say.
Right.
As part of the official statement. So
Well,
I'll leave it at that.
I'm sure
I
they'll-
know I did call Dan Markham yesterday because, of course, Ray worked for Dan for a long time and officed with him
Yeah.
in the same building. And Dan said that he was in Nashville under the doctor's care.
Good.
And they have things under control. And as Jimmy Blank said at the board meeting last night, Ray looks forward to being back sitting in the mayor's seat as soon as possible. So
Great.
let's all send good
A
wishes
prayer
to,
and good
to
wishes. I wanted to mention something. I talked for 2 or 3 weeks about a dance class we were having at South Jackson.
Yes.
But they canceled it because it was on Wednesday night, and some of the dancers had things they had to do on Wednesday night. So the point is that the waltz class, which is going to be taught by Valerie Lawrence, will pick up again the first week in March.
Okay.
And it will be on Thursday at 6:30. And if you want information, call South Jackson Civic Center at 455-5321 or go online.
And the Super Bowl was won by the Rams, LA Rams.
I actually knew that. You could have asked me.
Really?
I made it a point to find out who
Did
won.
you?
Yeah, I did.
And
I
it was an interesting ball game. No matter who won that ball game, it would have been a good story.
It was very colorful.
It was colorful. The halftime show is controversial. It was all hip hop and rap
The
and
worst thing to me about it was that I didn't understand all they said. You know what I mean? I don't get it all. It was a big show, and it was a big success, obviously.
yeah, and it was amazing to me. They talked about having a block party.
Yeah.
And did you see what was on the field?
Yeah, I did.
They had digitized
It was amazing.
the
Yeah,
photograph of a housing development from the air.
Yeah.
And they had street lights lit up on the field, and it looked like that you were looking down
It did.
into a huge housing development.
It was an
They had them all.
amazing.
They had them all.
Yeah.
Mary Jane Blige, and
Oh,
Snoop
yeah.
Dogg, and I mean, they had them all.
You gotta love Snoop Dogg.
Oh, well, you know, and the thing about Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg was a criminal, basically, when he started out, and in that rap, and that's back when rappers were killing people and stuff. But Snoop Dogg has pulled himself out of that.
He really has, and he's given a lot.
I mean, he does a show with Martha Stewart.
I know.
You know, here's a rap guy, Martha Stewart, who decorates the White House.
Martha, isn't she the one that's spent a few days in jail herself?
Well, she spent some days in jail because, I don't know, something about some finances.
Just because you decorated the White House.
The White House doesn't mean you can't do something, something wrong. You can be the president. Evidently, the president, every one of them always does something wrong.
Yeah.
Every time they get out, they're all investigated to go to. Everybody wants them to go to jail when they get out of office. So it's funny, but I don't know if you have this problem.
Probably.
But depending on where I am in this town, depends on how good my cell service is.
Well, I haven't necessarily noticed that, but because you're around way more than
Well,
I
I mean, where I live is out toward Avoca.
Yeah.
And my phone, things that happen on my phone when I'm downtown or somewhere else happens quickly, like getting on the internet or whatever. Yeah. When I'm at home, it takes forever.
That's weird, isn't it?
And I think it's because where I am, either in a valley or wherever, depending on where the cell tower is.
Yeah, once in a while I do have some issues. They just aren't bad. But I'm one block out of the light tubes channel, and I think it would be better if I could get on that, but I haven't made it yet.
Okay.
Maybe they'll come to my house.
Well, the other night I was frustrated. So pop a paper sack, lick a toad's back, blow in an old shoe, say ibbity bibbity bobbity boo. Visualize the letters you need to find, scrabble them into words and keep them deep in your mind. Pluck out a cat's tail hair, throw it under a rocking chair. Take your wand and wave it high and swear on it 3 times on a newt sigh. If you've done all this without exception, you just might get cell phone reception.
That's good.
And that's real magic.
Yeah.
So here's some more real magic, folks. We'll be back with the rest of the show right after these messages.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
Macarthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at Macarthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at Macarthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Sean Ridgway, so good to see you. We've been talking through the internet and wherever else, and then now you're in vision here in front of me. I'm so glad to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you so much for having me. It is awesome to be here, in my house, but it is really cool. Thank you again for having me.
Well, we're excited at South Jackson Civic Center because on February 20th at 2:30 in the afternoon, we have you doing some virtual, well, not virtual, but some magic and some comedy. And I think our lives are ready for some comedy especially, and a little magic. That's great. So when did you actually start doing your magic and your comedy?
Oh, good question. I think I started out actually when I was around 9. So I've been doing this for probably 18, 19 years. So way too long.
Well, were you that kid in class that just couldn't sit still because you had comedy in your mind or magic?
I mean, I was always into something. I was always getting into some kind of shenanigans. But yeah, I'm also a very fidgety person. So I've always got to be playing with something or working on something. So this definitely helps.
It intrigues me to know that you have combined your comedy with magic. And I'm excited that you're going to be at our South Jackson Civic Center on February 20th. And we hope people will come out and have a laugh or two and go home with their minds full of magic.
Yeah, that is the idea.
Do you want to do anything for us today? You want to show us a little magic?
Sure. That's why we're here, right?
Right. So.
All right. So let's start with something kind of basic, and then we'll go to something a little more personal. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So, of course, we've got the obligatory card trick, because what kind of magic show would we have, without cards? So here we are. So I have done something to one card in this deck. I won't tell you what it is, but there's something special about one card in here. Are you familiar with playing cards?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And hopefully everybody can see that okay. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and we're going to see how close we can get to what's in this box. So first question, do you want your card to be red or black?
Red.
Of course. Would you like it to be a heart or a diamond?
A heart.
A heart, of course, always the lady's choice. Do you want it to be a picture card like a Jack, Queen, King, or a number card?
I think I want a picture card.
Okay, perfect. And for the first time, which would you like? Would you like the King of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, or Queen of Hearts?
Queen of Hearts.
Naturally, there you go. So the Queen of Hearts. Now I'm going to give you one last chance. Would you like to change your mind for a completely different card? You don't have to.
No, I'm good. Let's stay with the Queen of Hearts.
You got it. You heard it here, folks. So one card that I've actually turned, hopefully y'all can see this okay. You can see that one card?
Oh, yeah.
Is the only card the wrong way. which should hopefully be your card. What did you say it was?
Queen of Hearts.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Nice job, Miss Peggy.
Thank you. Nice job with you.
Thank you.
I could ask the question. Is that, well, no, I can't ask the question. I was thinking, maybe you only had Queen of Hearts in there, but you didn't know what I was going to say, so that was impossible.
That would have been an even better trick.
I know. That was good.
Well, thank you.
All right. So when you could, comedy, you started comedy as a young person also, or was that a high school thing or a college?
Yeah, that is actually a more recent addition because I've been doing magic forever. But I first discovered comedy when I was around college-ish. I started going to comedy clubs and watching comedy specials and stuff like that. And I always thought it was really interesting. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try that. So I tried some stand-up, and it kind of bites you like a bug, just like any cool thing, right? And it just kind of took off from there. I was like, well, if I took the one and I took the other and I kind of put them together, what kind of weird mishmash would we end up with? So here we are.
And here we are with a comedy magic show. And did you find it hard to do stand-up when you first started? Were you worried about if anybody would laugh?
Oh, it is so nerve-wracking when you're just up there, because people don't realize when you have you have 2 minutes on stage, that it can be an eternity if you're just playing to like a dead audience and that nobody is responding. It's hard, but I also feel like everybody needs, and it's called bombing, like when you just completely are just not doing well. But I think everybody needs that in their life at least once, just so they know what it feels like to hit rock bottom. So you really have an appreciation for when you have an awesome audience. You really like, oh, thank God, like this is so much better.
Well, when you come to where are you? Where are you?
I'm actually in Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta. Okay. So
Yes,
you're not that far away. So what time you're going to show up? Yeah. So you're coming into our place. What time are you coming? What time of the day do I look for you?
I will probably try to be there sometime that morning.
Okay. Because we want to get everything set up and ready for you. I understand you're doing a little filming, so maybe the audience can get a little bit of in the film with you.
Oh, for sure. Everybody gets their time to shine.
Right. Sean, are you touring any right now? I know the pandemic has probably slowed you down a bit. Maybe.
Yeah, that was... Well, that was the thing. I was fortunate enough, me and a lot of my colleagues, we switched pretty early on to virtual. Once the world started to shut down and we couldn't go out and, do live shows for people, we're like, well, everybody's doing, work and school on Zoom. So why don't we kind of try to work with this medium?
Well,
and so, do what?
You were smart to do that.
Yeah, desperate times, my friend.
I know.
But yes, and so a lot of people started doing virtual shows, and that's been a lot of fun, but it's so nice that things are starting to kind of open back up and we can be with real people. It's wonderful.
I know. I think audience participation and energy makes a difference in almost any sort of act, because you look forward to that, but you're brave to keep doing it virtually or otherwise. Well, we are totally excited in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and I'm anxious to meet you in person rather than virtually. And so everybody get out there and get your tickets at southjackson.org or call the office 931-455-5321. The tickets are on sale for $10 a piece, and we're thrilled to have you coming. And you want to do another magic trick before we cut off, or?
Sure, let's end with a bang. Why not? We started out card trick. Oh, that's cute, Magic Boy. But now it's time to up our game a little bit.
Good.
So I'd like it, and I'll pick on you since we have so many other people to pick on. I want you to think of a time, like a time of day. This could be a completely random time, or it could be a time that's special to you. Do you have one?
I do.
Okay. So I'm going to set my watch. And hopefully we can make something happen. I'll try to keep everything in frame. Okay, so I am set. So the crown is set. For the first time, what time were you thinking of?
7 o'clock. PM.
Oh, specifically PM. Any particular reason you chose that, or was that just a random one that popped into your head?
It kind of is a time that I can sit down and relax.
Okay, so it's your quiet time. It's your time to yourself.
Time. Exactly.
Which is great because I feel exactly the same way.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing. I love it. Good
Thank
job.
you. Yeah, I'm an only child. This is what I do.
Oh, okay. Well, Sean, it's delightful meeting you. I'm so thrilled that you're coming to Tullahoma, and we will look forward to your chance on stage at South Jackson, February 20th.
Thank you so much for having me.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, my name's Bobby Carter, and I'm asking for your vote in the Circuit Court Judgeship of Coffee County, 2nd Division. I grew up in Tullahoma. I attended the Citadel and the University of Tennessee Law School. After that, I served my country as an officer in the United States Navy JAG Corps. Since then, I've been a trial lawyer in Coffee County for the last 25 years. I feel that I have the legal and life experiences to protect the citizens of this county over the next 8-year term. I would appreciate your vote in the May 3rd Republican primary. Thank y'all.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hey, welcome, Songwriters Open Mic, and we've got an interview today. I'm Tommy Williams with this wonderful show, and I've got my buddy here for an interview. Can't believe I got him to come here and sit down for a little bit. This is Austin Berger.
Hey,
now listen, he is the son of Anthony Berger, 10-time gospel music. What's the award your dad had?
Instrumentalist of the Year.
Instrumentalist of the Year for the Gospel Music Association.
Yeah.
You are not a piano player.
I tinkle.
You're a drummer.
Yes.
Okay. Your claim to fame, so you do line drum, you do a lot of that?
A lot of drumline stuff, teaching that. Do a lot of studio work as well in the gospel industry.
Right.
Did some work with Michael W. Smith, Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Yeah.
Let me ask you some questions. Okay, I know a few.
Okay.
John Gray would have been here, our buddy, but I'm here, so. All right, so let's back up to your dad's career. He started with the Kingsmen?
The Kingsmen, yeah. They're based out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with them when he was 16 years old, dropped out of high school. I mean, yeah, just kind of started hitting it big when he was
What I understand, and maybe you can correct this, your father was a little child and was fumbling around on the floor and burned his hands on a heater.
Yeah, it was a floor furnace in the house back in Tennessee. He was 8 months old, was learning how to walk in a walker, and in the middle of February had the heat turned on real high.
Right.
So he was going down the hallway, and one of the wheels of the walker got stuck in the grill of the floor furnace.
Yeah.
So then he tipped over and both hands landed on the grill and the side of his face.
So the doctors, from what I was told, they said this kid ain't gonna be able to use his hands.
Never gonna be able to move his hands again. He was carried on a pillow for about a year, took a medicated bath 3 times a day for a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, doctor said he'd never be able to move his hands again.
That video can be seen on YouTube with your dad actually talking about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's multiple videos.
So he went on, and so the story I'm told is he came home from church as like a little kid and pecked out on the piano what?
What did he play? Old Rugged Cross. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, played the Old Rugged Cross when he was 3 years old.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So then they got him lessons in Chattanooga.
At the Shada Conservatory of Music in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right.
At the age of 5 years old. He was there for about 8.5 years, just learning the classics and really really teaching him how to read music.
All right. So somewhere along the way, the Kingsman guys saw, so we're talking about Anthony Berger, your father.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, the Kingsman saw him when he was a teenager.
He was 14 years old.
And maybe we'll hire you.
Yeah, 14 years old, said, it was pretty good chops for a 14-year-old. Maybe if we need a piano player in a few years or so, we'll give you a call.
Right.
He was 14, he didn't believe him, so 2 years later, he's 16, gets a call from Jim Hamill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MC for the Kingsmen.
Right.
And said they wanted him to hire him, learn a few songs, come get on the bus with him in North Carolina.
And he did it.
And he did it.
He did it.
Just dropped everything.
Wow. Amazing.
Yep.
So he went on, and then eventually he became, or I don't know what year he won the awards, but he eventually became the piano player for the Gaither Vocal Band.
Yeah.
Gaithers.
Yeah. Started playing with Bill Gaither in 1993.
Yeah.
And was with them until 2006.
If you go on YouTube and you search Anthony Berger, he had albums. I mean, he had albums out, and he's on a bunch of albums. He's so talented and funny.
Yeah.
He's funny. He brought. There's one video I saw where he was imitating people. I thought that was totally hilarious. So he had a lot of personality. Unfortunately, during his career with the Gaither Vocal Band, sadly, he died performing on stage.
On stage in the Caribbean, February 2006. But yeah, he is.
How old were you?
I was 13.
Did you ever pick up the piano like he did? I mean,
not on his level. He made me take piano lessons when I was 6. From 6 to 12, I took piano lessons.
So your instrument of choice is
drums, for sure.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I started playing drums when I was 9 years old, and I never found anything that I navigated towards that quickly as drums.
So. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna cut into your personal life.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
So I Googled you on the internet.
Oh boy.
You ready?
Yeah.
So there's an interview with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
And they're picking on her because her boyfriend is some kid named Cheeseburger. Now, confirm or deny?
Confirm.
Are you the guy?
I am the guy.
You were her first boyfriend?
First boyfriend. We were each other's first kiss. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
So, did she have a hoarse voice? I mean, was she kind of rustic then, or?
I mean, she sang a little bit, but it wasn't her focus back then.
This was before?
This was before the singing, yeah.
Before the Disney stuff?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this was Bethesda Middle School?
Bethesda Elementary.
Really?
Yeah, we were 5 years old when we first started doing our thing. Play dates, whatnot. Dad did a little piano playing for her dad, and then
for
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
And we went to preschool together, kindergarten, grew up all through middle school together. Yep.
Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Do you get free tickets?
No. I haven't talked to her in Lord knows how long.
But if you dial her up, she'd say, She picked the phone up.
I don't know.
She would know who you were.
She would know who I am.
Cheeseburger.
For sure.
Yeah, because I Googled it and said they picked on her because her first boyfriend was named Cheeseburger, and so you're
Austin Cheeseburger. Yeah.
I love it. What about now? What do you, I know there's a lot of things you want to do now. You live in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
You live in Columbia.
Columbia currently, yep.
And you're dead in the middle of country music, gospel music, everything.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Play drums? Teach drums?
Teach drums, play drums, work with some artists trying to record.
Yeah. But you want to do studio work?
Yeah, I would love to get back into studio work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Drumline.
Yeah.
Folks don't know that of your drumline participation.
Oh, yeah.
What school? Now you put schools in competition with drumline.
Oh, yeah.
What were they?
I taught at Independence High School, taught at Centennial High School, taught at Phil Campbell, Alabama High School. A lot of high schools. Taught at Overton High School, McGavick High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, taught around a lot.
Drums and drums.
Drums and drums and drums.
So so your kids are going to be very excited. Your girlfriend's Caroline.
Caroline.
Gorgeous, sweetheart.
Also a drummer.
She's a drummer too?
She is.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So your kids their claim to fame is going to be my dad was Miley Cyrus's.
I hope they have something better to talk about than that. I hope they have something better.
All right, guys, back in the studio. Jerry Hess, all y'all, that's it. We're done. We have interviewed my good friend, Austin Berger from Columbia, Tennessee, a drummer, musician, huge history in gospel music. His father was 10-time, instrumental?
Yeah, 10 years in a row, instrumentalist of the year.
Of the year. We thank you, and stay with us. We got more.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. This is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right, no employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Black History Month. And you know, I'm one of those people that thinks every month needs to be Black History Month.
Amen.
And as far as I'm concerned, it is. And this guy that's here with me right now can be part of my month, part of my day, every day there is, if he wants to.
Amen, brother.
Mr. Jackie Duncan's here with us today, and to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. He's pretty much Tullahoma's poet laureate.
Thank you, sir.
And he's,
I know you're in line for that too now.
Yeah, no. I can't compete.
Yeah, you're a good poet.
But Jackie's a county commissioner, and he's just one of those good guys.
Thank you, sir.
And I just wanted to give Jackie a little time to voice his opinion on whatever he wants to, and share some wisdom with not only our young folks, but our old folks as well, because, you know, the age has nothing to do with hard-headed.
Said that right.
And age, you know, you can fix ignorance, but you can't fix, it's hard to fix stupid.
True.
You know,
true.
You can't educate stupid out of
That's
a person,
true.
can you, Jackie?
That's true. That's true.
How do you think things are going?
I think things are going good. I'm an optimist.
Yes, you are.
And I can always see the good in everything. Thank goodness for that. And so it makes my day a lot nicer. You know, I can go around smiling all day because I see the good in everybody and the good in everything. So, and I know that God's in charge. That's all that matters.
That's all we need to care about.
Yeah. So, if things need to get fixed, then
fix them.
Well, that's right. If I can fix what I can fix and what I can't fix, He'll take care of the rest. So that's
there you go.
I don't worry about anything.
You know, I tell a lot of these young people, if you spend your day worrying about the mistakes you made yesterday and scared of what might happen tomorrow, you ain't gonna get anything done today.
You're right about that.
Today's all we're promised.
That's right. That's it. This moment, just like that. It's in the past. The present goes to the past, just like that. Future's not promised. Gonna perish. I could perish just right now.
And
not another moment. Not another word said. But and we don't seem to understand, take the importance. I guess realize the importance of the moment that we're in. And that bothers me a lot of times. You know, we think that tomorrow's going to be, something's going to be promised. You know, it's always come, but it doesn't mean that it's going to always be there. There will be a tomorrow. I think, you know, just by faith, through my faith, there will be a tomorrow, but not necessarily here. It's going to be one somewhere. And wherever when I leave this place, I'm going somewhere for tomorrow. So I look at it like that, and I'm always prepared for tomorrow, but it doesn't mean that it's going to come down here.
Well, and let's hope if it's hot, it's because you're on a beach somewhere.
You're right about that.
You know, I thought about something, and sometimes I didn't do it, but now. It's been a while now that every time I leave someone, like my wife or my mother-in-law or somebody like that, I give them a kiss, because you never know when your last kiss goodbye is going to take place.
You're right about that. Sure. Yeah, and to, I guess, expound on that particular subject, I recently lost my sister-in-law. She'd been in the family for, God, my brother married her over 50 years ago.
Right.
And she's just been a blessing to the family all this time, you know, her kids and everything. And I didn't realize, you know, I didn't see her the last time she went to the hospital. I went to see her before that, and then she started having some issues and wound up in the hospital, and then they were getting ready, she was getting ready to come home for just being dismissed, you know, for rehab, and thought they could do the rehab at home. Then she took a turn for the worse, and she didn't make it. But, you know, and I didn't get to see her right before that. You know, I said it'd been nice if these things are, we know they're coming, we know death is coming, but it'd be nice if we could have a general idea so we could get caught up on whatever you need to get caught up on, you know, I love yous, and you know, it's been a blessing. You've been a great blessing in my life and things like this, but you need to say these things every day, just like you said.
Yeah.
You don't say them every day, you're not going to get that magic moment when you know that things are changing right now. That magic moment just doesn't show up all the time in that form. So you better say it while you can every day, and let them know it.
Well, and I've had this happen several times, and I'm trying not to let it happen again. You know, we all have people in our lives, and most of the time it's a preacher or a teacher, and a preacher is a teacher. But most of the time in my life, it's a school teacher.
Yeah.
There have been, there were, Mr. Curley affected me, and there are different ones, Miss McClure affected me, and different ones in Miss Moffitt, and some teachers, and you think, I need to go see that person and tell them thank you, and go visit with them, because they're old, and they need, our older people need somebody visiting with them.
Right.
They need somebody to talk to. And for some reason you let life get in the way, and all of a sudden they're gone, and you didn't do it.
You're right.
And it weighs heavy on me that, and I'm trying really hard when those people cross my mind, and I have an opportunity to go spend some time with them,
Need to do it.
I go.
You need to, yes.
Because you never know, just like we said,
You're right.
the next minute that opportunity might be gone.
You're right. I thought about that same thing a while back, and I kind of drugged my feet. I got a little sick there for a while, and I drugged my feet on this. But I bought a stack of cards that these are just cards that I love you.
Right.
You know, I appreciate you so much and all this. And I got a stack of cards, and I've got people in my mind, just like you're saying, that I want to send these to, and people that have made a difference in my life. And of course, a lot of them get away before we realize, before this thought comes to my mind.
Right.
This great revelation I've had, you know, it just came to me. There's always a teacher that you that stands out in your mind. That somebody if somebody asks you who's your favorite teacher, you got somebody always in mind that made a difference, made a huge difference in your life. And but I had the honor a while back and I got these cards still to send out.
Right.
I haven't done them yet. I'm working on them. But a teacher that really made a difference. Every teacher makes a difference, and I appreciate them so much. And some make a bigger difference than others. But you know, we all make a difference, and I think we all do. We're all teachers in life. But bottom line, this one lady I ran across, I didn't realize that I never had met the lady before, and I just trying to find my family.
Right.
You know, and trying to piece together my family after all these years, people I never knew. And I've run into some lady in Nashville and had a middle name as my last name, and which used to be her maiden name. And I got thinking, I saw this, and she had written a book, and I was at this little book fair and at a luncheon, and I mentioned, well, you know, my name. I said, my name's Jackie Duncan. I said, you got a Duncan in your name? She said, yeah. We got to talking and found out that her people were from this area at the end of slavery.
Right.
And we got together and said we got to be related. And we found out. I went to the next reunion, and the lady that I found there had was a teacher. And this is just one of the ladies that I found there. She was a teacher, and she had made a huge difference in life, part of my family. And I was just honored, and found out he was Oprah's favorite teacher.
Oh.
Miss Mary Duncan. Oh, and I've seen Oprah do her on TV, had honored her and said that she had made the difference in her life in the 4th grade and had changed her life in the 4th grade. And that's why she went on to become the woman she is. And so this lady, Miss Mary Duncan, is listed in the, I forget the name of the list. It's a list out there somewhere. The 20 teachers that mostly that changed the world.
Right.
And the 20 people, I think, 20 people that had a huge difference in changing the world, and her name was listed in there.
Good.
And I said that was such an honor to meet her and to know her the last 15 years or so of her life. I went to several parties when her daughter would have a birthday party for her in Nashville. We got very close. I had written this book several years ago. She loved my book, and I was just honored.
That's great.
I was blown away.
That's great.
There are great little things in life, little tidbits like this.
Yeah,
that really
and that's real. That's
keep us going.
we talk about history and History Month and this History Month and that. Family history is real history.
Amen. Yes,
real
sir.
history. Now, we're about out of time, and I would be remiss if I had Tullahoma's Poet Laureate on television with me today and didn't have you read a piece for us. You got something? How about pulling something out of that bag and reading us a piece to close this segment?
You must have read my mind. I got one I'd like to do. I can do from memory that I would like to share with you. It's called Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever heard that one or not.
I probably have, but I want to hear it again.
But there's several copies of it running around here. I know that there was one over at City Hall. Winston Brooks had a big wall copy over there that I had donated to a charity fundraiser.
Right.
But it's called Tullahoma, Tennessee. And as children, when we grow up and we decide that this little town is not big enough for us anymore, some of us feel that way, and we got to go to the city, see what's going on. And so I did. I went to the city. I had to see what was happening, and I found out what was happening in the city. And the little poem goes,
"Take me home, country road."
The little poem says, "Oh, I have chased a dream a time or two in search of things on my own. I have seen the glittering gold of life and wandered far from home. The things I sought I already had when blinded eyes could see. For the place I left in search of my dream was the place that cried out to me. Oh, there's something about the atmosphere. Kindness fills the air. Mama said there's so much love. God often visits there. You can search the whole world over. None other you'll find the same that likens her uniqueness or even shares her name." Her love seems to capture my heart. I can't.
That's okay.
All of a sudden, I can't even.
We're old.
I can't even remember the rest of it. I quote this thing all the time, Anyway, it's Tullahoma, Tennessee, and it's there's a copy hanging.
And it's beautiful.
There's a copy hanging in the Chamber of Commerce office.
There you go.
And there's, like I said, there's several copies hanging around town. But I like to write inspirational poetry, and my little book is Living on Purpose.
There you go.
Been out for a while, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm having the best time of my life right now. Things are happening in my life. I'm getting a lot of phone calls that I won't take right now. I can't take right now, and it's about this book. And I've got book companies calling me right now. They've just discovered it after all these years it's been out. And I've got about 5 different book companies calling me. One calls about 5 times a day here lately. And this is good. These are good problems.
Right.
I said, people might call it, worrying and all this, but it's good worry. So I'm just blessed, and right now, and
we're blessed to have you.
I'm blessed to be your friend,
Jackie Duncan.
You be my friend.
Always, my brother, always.
And I appreciate it.
Okay, and you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you so much.
Just as long as you don't bring Lamont Snipes with you. We love you too, Lamont.
All right, yeah, we love you.
We'll be back after these messages.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the
I just knocked a tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I have two of the nicest ladies on the set with me today. I have Miss Sarah Haley with the Imagination Library in Coffee County, Kat McMurr with McMurr's in Tullahoma, and His Story.
Told by her.
Told by her. I've always loved the name of that.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk a little, Miss Dolly, I forget to
she's here
introduce
too.
Dolly Parton, who is a wonderful person, a wonderful contributor to what you do. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Okay. Dolly Parton started Imagination Library in Sevier County, and she still pays for the books there, but no place else. And she and Governor Bredesen got together at one time and decided that it needed to be in all 95 counties in Tennessee.
It's wonderful.
So with that, we got started and started enrolling children over 15 years ago.
So you were on the ground floor of this?
Yes.
That's wonderful, Sarah.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
exciting still to be involved with that. So in all those years, we have mailed out over 400,000 books to children.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Imagination Library is for somebody that doesn't know, is a book gifting program for children 5 and under.
5 and under, and they get their own book.
They get their own book every month in the mail at no charge to the family.
I think that's one of the most wonderful programs. It is. It's children need to be read to.
Yes.
They need to read, and it's a great start in their education.
It is. So that does mean, though, with all of the children that we have enrolled, and currently we have the highest rate of enrollment in the state. The state average is 70%,
awesome.
and we are at 89%.
89%?
Yes.
That deserves applause. That is wonderful.
It is. But that does mean that we have an annual book bill that totals over $40,000.
Yeah, I think some people get the idea that just because Dolly does this, that she's paying for everything.
Yes.
Well,
that's what I
she's
thought,
certainly
maybe.
paying for a lot.
That's what I thought, and that's how
she's
we ended up.
invested her personality and her time and her energy.
Likeness.
And it's a beautiful program, but money is still needed.
It is.
And you all are doing some fundraisers, I know.
We are. We're very.
I think I'm looking at one.
Absolutely.
But there's one before mine, so she can tell you about that.
okay.
The weekend before Cats, at Dameron's Restaurant, we do a green eggs and ham breakfast, thanks to Gloria Dameron.
Gloria Dameron needs to get applause
She
everywhere
does.
she goes.
She
She's an
does.
amazing individual.
So we will do the Pancake Breakfast the last Saturday of February, which is February 26th, and it's from 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
Yes, and those proceeds will go to help paying for the books.
That's great. And do you want to say how much it costs?
The tickets are $10 a piece, and for children 4 and under, it's free.
That's
And
wonderful, too.
we should have at least 1 or 2 people there who, with
Read
books, who will be reading books
Good.
to any children. That,
So bring your
that are there.
children. That's what a fun
Right.
day that will be.
And the eggs will be green.
Yeah, the eggs will be
They will.
green. Green eggs and ham.
Exactly.
I have been a fan of Dr. Seuss's books all my entire life, as long as they first came out, and that was a long time ago. And that's a cute idea to have the green eggs and ham breakfast.
It is. And then the following Saturday,
Which is March the
March
5th.
5th, March 5.
March 5, 7 p.m., South Jackson. We're going to do our tribute to Michael Jackson. The tickets, all the tickets are $15. We decided to keep it because of everything that's been going on. We give somebody something to do for $15
And
for
this is
2 hours program.
For 2 hours performance, and this is your 16th year.
16th time.
I know
Yeah.
you
Typically, I do it twice a year, but we haven't done it for 2 years.
for 2 years because of, well, everybody knows.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just
And so
leave it
we're
on.
excited. I have 3 of they're not children anymore, they're teenagers that started with me in the very first show, and they're going to be seniors this year.
I love that.
So we're excited. I'm not excited that they're leaving me, but I am excited to have watched them grow.
To watch them grow and get at least one more chance to do the show before
yes,
they
which
go off
was
to
my-
college in their life.
Which was my entire purpose of wanting to do the show. And then Sarah came in and told me about the library, which I, like everybody, a lot of people thought Dolly Parton was covering the
Right.
cost of it. So I said, you need to get some money. You know, I'm
Exactly.
gonna help you.
Well,
So-
it's a great thing to do and a wonderful cause. So I hope everybody remember that date. Is
Yes.
that on Saturday?
It is,
March
7
5th.
p.m. And the tickets are not at South Jackson because it's not a South Jackson
They're at your
event.
shop.
Yes.
So come in and print your stuff and get your tickets at the same time
Exactly.
at McMurray's location, which
101 West OG Street. That's here in Tullahoma. And we have the tickets, but all of her board members have any. So if you, I have tickets also. But a little bit about the show. It's a 2-hour, it's not I'm singing 22 songs, so it's not a
Oh my goodness.
track thing I'm lip
Yeah.
syncing to because I'm horrible at lip syncing. And so it's live
It's
entertainment.
live entertainment.
For $15. So you can't.
And you'll do all of the great
We do
tunes.
everything from I Want You Back, and we stop in the 90s. So
And stop in the 90s. The best of the best of.
Exactly. And
him.
so we're excited. Costume changes and everything. And so we, as I was telling you guys earlier, some of the kids that were in 6th grade or 8th graders now, and they're 5'9", so we had to spend Saturday figuring out costumes.
And you've
stuff.
taught
So
them all to moonwalk.
I've taught them to moonwalk. The rest of it, I don't do. I'm just the singer. I'm not the dancer. So, but we all moonwalk in one song, which I'm going to make you come to the show and figure out what song.
When did you first get interested in Michael Jackson performances?
In 1969.
The first time you saw him on stage?
Yeah, well, it was radio, and of course the Ed Sullivan Show way back when.
When he was a little old tiny thing.
I was
and
just very impressed with. We're only about a year apart.
About a
in
year
age,
apart.
And so I was very impressed with his voice, and I just absolutely loved it. And
well, your
just,
show is such fun, and it has a lot of energy in it. Takes a lot of energy to do it.
Yes.
And I appreciate all you do. You're always out there giving to a cause. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And let's tell a little bit more about the first event. Give that date again about the green eggs and ham breakfast, just to make sure everybody knows that if you can't get all the information from us, you can go on a web page. What is it?
For imaginationlibrary.com.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm sorry. That's registration. I'm so used to saying that. No, we have a Facebook page for the Imagination Library of Coffee County.
Okay.
But the Green Eggs and Ham Breakfast will be at Dameron's on Saturday morning, February 26th from 8 to 10. And tickets are $10 and for adults. And then there's also tickets available at the door for both events.
Yes.
And then,
I was going to say that maybe you could get tickets for her event at your event.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Good
They
idea.
can.
And people are always asking me if you have to have reservations, or can you just show up?
No.
For
just
either
show up.
event.
For either event.
Yeah, we're general
You
admission.
can show up at the door, and it's seating is your choice.
Yes, the only seats that I reserve are for my dancers and their family and whatever they want.
So you can buy your ticket at the door, sit where you want to. And
so if it turns out you don't have anything to do that night, we'll be down there.
Well, you know, a lot of people, they wait because they don't know what's going to happen in this time of year with the weather. But this show is going to go on regardless.
Exactly.
The breakfast is going to go on regardless.
Because I have sparkly socks.
And oh my gosh, we should show more. Have you lit up your...
Oh.
There you go. I love that.
There we go.
Well, ladies, Sarah and Kat, thanks for coming. And I'm not going to forget Imagination Library anymore. It's a wonderful cause. We'll be back with...
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and we're here to present today the Conversation with John and Pat, the 19th installment.
We're about to get to 20.
We're coasting downhill on it, John.
Pat, you were making mention a while ago of this little tuner that I have, and it's a great little device to keep your guitar in tune. And since I changed strings the other day just for this segment, I wanted to show folks that because you seem to be intrigued.
I am intrigued with it, John, and those that think that Chapel Hill may be a little bit limited in accepting technology need to take note of that.
Yes.
It'd be similar to the first person from Chapel Hill to get on a commercial airplane, probably.
Well, you can put it on a cell phone now and tune your guitar by a cell phone today. But I want to we've got a segment here I think everybody's going to be interested in, and it's in regard to University of Tennessee and a family that was well recognized there. Well, wish I was on top of Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once two strangers climbed on Rocky Top looking for a moonshine still. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, reckon they never will. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Well, I missed a chord there, but who cares?
It's unnoticed.
and
with Pat Head Summit's Celebration of Life service last night, that was done, and John, it was probably done better by you then, and maybe some in the crowd.
I appreciate the comment, though. Yeah. Flattery is always helpful.
That's exactly right, and it will get you further than some people think it will. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Where are you headed, John? I want to remind you brought by a book.
I brought by a book because I won it. I'm a winner, you know.
Absolutely, just like Coach Bryant. Nothing but.
But I used to live next door to a fellow named Mr. Orville Finney out on Blue Creek Road, and Mr. Finney, I used to help him on the farm a little bit when I was younger and wanting to do things like that. So Mr. Finney one day casually mentioned that Shirley Majors used to cut hair with him up in Tullahoma in the same barber shop, and the question was by who was the TSSAA man back at that time. But anyway, he came to Rotary and spoke, and he asked Ronnie Carter, and he said, now if anybody can answer this question, you'll get one of these books. Well, I answered that question, and everybody in Rotary is pretty astounded that I knew the answer. And I was astounded too.
I remember you and I can show out in Rotary, it does astound them, John.
That's exactly right. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, John took the book by my wife's place of work, and which was awful nice of him, because he knew that once I got it, that it would engross me for about 3 or 4 days, and he was in deference to my wife. She knew the same effect was going to happen, and if I wasn't going to clean any dishes or make any beds or participate in any kind of family life, she could have held that book from me, but she was nice enough to let me look at it. And it was incredible. It covered the history of the TSSAA, which is what? Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association, that has governed Tennessee high school sports, I believe, since the very early 1900s. And it was divided in segments of history and so forth, and it was divided into successful coaches, and it had just a lot of local history in it. And one of them, of course, would have been the Majors family, that they would have had 5 boys and a daughter. And Coach Majors, Shirley Majors, was the father, and his wife's name was Elizabeth, but I believe she went by John. So they had the husband's name Shirley and the wife's name John, and I think you said that there was
I wrote a little song one time. Stoney Jackson shared that tidbit with me, and I wrote a little song called Papa named Shirley and a Mama named John. I won't bore you with that song, but that's...
Well, Coach Majors, Shirley Majors, was a barber, as you've already pointed out, and he, during the World War II periods, at least, he cut hair in the old Harton Arcade, which would have been right off of Jackson Street. And wasn't long ago, his family was raised in Lynchburg, or he raised his family in Lynchburg and Huntland. And Coach Majors, being John Majors, periodically visits both places in Tullahoma to visit friends. And I got to be with a group of maybe 10 guys that ate lunch downtown with him, and it was really, really interesting. And he said that during Camp Forest days, when we had 60, 70,000 troops being trained at near what's now the Arnold Indian Development Center, that these soldiers would come in on Saturday to get their hair cut, and for at that time would have been a really high price for it, like $1. He'd cut the hair and give them a shave, and the chair was full all day long. He made probably more money then than he at least Johnny Major said he made more money then than he did when he was, anytime he was coaching. And they'd bring, the 5 boys would come with him some, and he'd give them enough money to get 1 Coke, I think, and see 2 movies at a time. And they just talked on and on and on about how fun life was at that time. Philip, why don't you put that picture up? That picture's then, Coach Shirley Majors is on the right. Now, he, of course, when he retired, he was the head coach at the University of South in Swanee and had some extremely successful teams. I believe he had 2 or 3 undefeated teams. And if you going opposite the way you normally read, go from right to left, the first gentleman is the oldest son, which I think that was his senior year at Huntland. That would be Johnny Majors, or John Majors. It was the head coach at UT for so long. Next to him is Joe Majors, who was a quarterback at Florida State. The next one is Bill Majors, who was an assistant coach until an extremely untimely death that we'll talk about maybe at some point, and we don't have enough time today. And I believe that was his 8th grade year. And then next to him is Larry Majors, who was the smallest of the crew when he was, after he had grown, and he played for his daddy at Swanee and was a real successful player. And then the youngest on the far left is Bobby Majors, who was probably the best athlete of them all and was the biggest of them all. I can remember he was 44, played in the late 60s. And John, when they punted to him, there wasn't anybody in the open field that could catch him. He could make at least one guy miss almost
I'll tell you my little tale. Tommy Allen and I went to see Penn State and Tennessee play at Neyland Stadium, and Lydell Harris and Franco Harris and Lydell Mitchell were 2 of the running backs for Penn State, and they were highly rated in the country. And that ball would be punted to Bobby Majors, and the most beautiful wall would be set up, and he would read and dart and dash through or around, whatever. It was amazing, that game. They won 31-11 that day, and it was UT's heyday.
I'm not too sure that wasn't the first night game at Neyland Stadium, too, John. That was a really, really big deal. Penn State being an intersectional powerhouse. And
we're going to come back and do a little bit about the Majors family at another segment, but we've been told that we need
to cut it
speed it up a little bit here.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to shut down the 19th installment now then, John.
Well, I'm going to continue with a little bit more Rocky Top on the next segment 20, so we don't lose continuity.
Right, and kind of celebrate the meeting segment number 20. That's not the end of the conversations. We'll take his place by storm if we have to finish this segment up. Number 20 is coming.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, my name's Bobby Carter, and I'm asking for your vote in the Circuit Court Judgeship of Coffee County, 2nd Division. I grew up in Tullahoma. I attended the Citadel and the University of Tennessee Law School. After that, I served my country as an officer in the United States Navy JAG Corps. Since then, I've been a trial lawyer in Coffee County for the last 25 years. I feel that I have the legal and life experiences to protect the citizens of this county over the next 8-year term. I would appreciate your vote in the May 3rd Republican primary. Thank y'all.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here in Manchester, Tennessee at the Recreation Department. I am with Jeff Hout. He is the athletic director for here at the department, and this week we are holding a archery tournament for Taylor's Archery out of Tullahoma, Tennessee. Jeff, this is turning into be a pretty big event.
Yes. Whenever I met Tracy and Sandy and they talked to me about, holding an archery tournament here, I didn't really know what to expect, and then they told me it was going to be over 200 kids. We got really excited about it. So yeah, it's turned out really nice.
Well, a lot of people, they get excited real quick when it comes to these children, because you'd be surprised. They can win scholarships. It's unreal. I know my son Josh is the coach for the Tullahoma group, and he comes home bragging about, I had an archer that won the state tournament. I got one that's got a scholarship. And people don't, this is something that it takes, it's very mental. So these kids, they learn a lot. They learn to really pay attention to every little thing, because you're off just a tad here, you're off a bunch down there.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's the Olympics going on, and my wife and I are Olympic junkies, and we watch, I guess it's the biathlon where they're shooting, and they're skiing and shooting, and they've got this archery, and it's similar. It takes so much concentration. I'm excited because our director of our rec center, his wife is starting an archery program at their elementary school. And I know it's growing in all these elementary schools, and then to see this at a more advanced level, this is pretty cool.
Well, today's really going to be something. Now, this is not the only event you have. You and I talked about AAU basketball and other things that's going on. So share with the people some of the events that you have throughout the year.
It's crazy. We, like you said, we have AAU basketball. We have a youth basketball league that we have throughout the fall and winter. We host indoor soccer. We host adult basketball. We host volleyball tournaments. It's been a handful of years ago, but we actually held a circus in here one time. There was a circus. There was an animal, and there was a motorcycle in one of those cages. It's pretty versatile in here. You can see this building it's awesome.
Well, I know it's a great facility. This is actually the first time I've had an opportunity to come, because we stay, me and the camera guys, we're everywhere. But this right here was something we really wanted to cover, and when Josh told me he was going to be in this facility, I was real anxious to let people see it, because a lot of people don't know what all goes on over here. They see the one in Tullahoma, they see the one in Shelbyville, they see the one in Franklin County. Now they're going to be able to see the one in Manchester, which this is a fantastic facility. You got weight rooms, you got a track up here to, I mean, this is pretty good.
We're very proud of this facility. The people of Manchester, we're very blessed to have this facility. Like you said, we have a indoor pool, lap pool. We have an outdoor pool that is incredibly busy in the summer with kids. Like you said, we have an aerobic room. We have this weight room that's nice. We have a spin room. It's pretty much full service facility with about anything you want to do wellness wise. It's we offer all kinds of adult programs and kids programs, and we're very proud of this facility.
Well, I tell you right quick before we get started on our archery shooting, share with the people the phone number, who to contact in case they want to come and talk to you about having some kind of event here, or come to one that you're already having.
Sure. Well, follow us on Facebook, Manchester Recreation Center on Facebook. We share lots of information on there, Instagram, Twitter. My name's Jeff Hauk. The phone number for the front desk is 931-728-0273. Ask for me. I'm one that usually reserves all the special events, and I'll get back with you as fast as I can.
All right, you heard it, folks. You want to come to a place where huge, and believe me, I'm very impressed with this facility. Come to Manchester, Tennessee, and talk to Jeff. He'll fix you up.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're getting ready to tell you goodbye, and what Peggy needs to say is the first baby born at Vanderbilt Hospital, Hardin.
It's a book from the imagination.
Not just the first baby, but any baby born.
Any baby, all babies born at Hardin here in Tullahoma
gets
a book from the Imagination Library, which is a wonderful thing.
All right, and with that said, we're gone. Love you. See you next time.